Walter Jones Historical Park and Mandarin Museum. Museum is open. Oh, I haven't been here before. Let's go see what we can see. Walter Jones Historical Park and Museum in Mandarin, which is southern part of Jacksonville. The Mandarin Museum and Historical Society. To all photographers using the park, people love having their photos taken here. Take everything away. That makes sense. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what's inside. An old style Florida house. I mean, it's been updated for code or whatnot, but still has that feel.
Civil War soldiers value enough to carry it with them into the field. Every morning,
World War I. It's a whole list of the stuff that he's got. The items contained within this exhibit are typical of what the U.S. Army would have issued to soldiers like Private Marion Lasco during the World War I. All items are original and not reproductions. Helmet, campaign hat, overseas cap, backpack containing mess kit, shirt, utensils, shelter and poles, gas mask and bag, pineapple hand grenade, web belt with cartridge pockets, medical pouch, trench knife, canteen, puttees, combat boots, M1917 Winchester rifle with bayonet, mess tin of a machine gunner, decorated trench art, Private Fuller's personal items, and silk ditty bag made at a French hospital after he was wounded in combat. 1919 poster in frame, Least We Forget. This complete uniform and equipment belonged to Private Harold A. Fuller of Hagerstown, Maryland, 115th Infantry Regiment of the 29th Blue and Gray Division. Private Fuller was wounded but survived World War I. Hoorah! Some cool artifacts. Sword hilt belonged to William Potter. Blacksmith forged hammerhead. Earthen jug. Folding iron and brass pocket knife. A pair of scissors that still cut. A brass ship's lantern. 20-pound parrot shell armament from the ship. Wood and brass fife. Ooh, fountain pens. 58 caliber mini bullet. Rimfire cartridges, 44 caliber rimfire bullet. It's a cool little ink bottle. Ink bottle with ink inside. A cool little place. Maple leaf, the original, the Union.
It was built in Canada. That's why it's called the Maple Leaf, and it was used as a pleasure cruiser on the Great Lakes.
Okay.
But when the Civil War broke out, the guy who owned it in Canada sold it to a guy in Boston, and he refurbished it and turned it into a troop transport. So it brought Union troops and all their equipment up and down the East Coast. And its last voyage was to bring equipment for 3 regiments of Union soldiers to Jacksonville. And it got assigned to run down to Palatka to take some horses and cavalry unit before it unloaded.
Okay.
And on the way back, it hit a mine and sank. It was one of those underwater, new, fangled underwater mines.
So it sank on the St. Johns River.
Right here at Mandarin Point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And within 40 days, it sunk a couple more.
Yeah, they sunk quite a few out, the 3 of them out there with those mines.
They raised the other 2.
Well, that's cool.
And it's a National Historic Landmark shipwreck site.
The maple leaf was actually recycled.
Was what?
It was recycled.
Oh,
The,
okay.
the motor and stuff in the maple leaf came out of a ship built in 1837 called the Sovereign. And they took the motor out of the Sovereign and put it in the maple leaf and they built the new hull.
Cool. Would that be one of the mines over there?
That would be a copy of the mine.
Copy of the mine?
And that would be parts of the motor that you see on the
Right here.
float glass side of the maple leaf. And if you go down by the sawmill, you'll see some plywood that took out of the river in the 1880s. Those little sharpened ends is probably what the end of that mine probably originally looked like.
That's a cool looking mine.
Yeah. I got a drum at the house. I've been wondering when I know, growing up as a kid, Daddy described that picture up there quite vividly.
Well, yeah, that one was done by a professional artist. It's been in the National Archives forever. I think he was
And I'm
commissioned
sure-
by the
I'm
Army to
sure-
draw it.
And I'm sure probably because you get back to his grandfather's.
I just closed these.
Another fellow that likes to talk. He's been in this area. His family's been here for 300 years or something. St. Joseph's Mission Schoolhouse for African American Children. This is the last remaining one-room schoolhouse in Duval County, built in 1898 on the St. Joseph's Church property at the corner of Loretta and Old St. Augustine Roads. It was part of the community school begun in 1868 by the Sisters of St. Joseph, a Roman Catholic religious order from Le Puy, France. I have no idea if that's how that's said. While the school was open to all residents, the Sisters Mission was established with a particular focus on providing new educational opportunities for black children. This schoolhouse was one of several built over the years, specifically for the school's black students who were not taught alongside white students due to racial prejudice. It is not known how long the schoolhouse remained in use. In 1943, the building was given to Nathaniel Long, an employee of St. Joseph's Academy. After his death, it was sold to a private owner, relocated, and restored. Finally, as part of a community effort to save the building, it was moved in January 2015 to its present location. And the one-room schoolhouse. Now, I was just told that when it was moved here the last time, because of all the new regulations and whatnot, they had to take the roof off. So the roof has actually been all taken down. The whole peak has been taken down and replaced, and then the roof rebuilt.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, please come in.
They told me next door to come over here and take some video over here. They didn't tell me there was anybody inside waiting on me.
I'm here waiting on you. You just help yourself a deal. Do I need to get out of your way?
No, ma'am. You're fine if you don't mind being on YouTube, or at least your voice. You can tell me what's going on in here.
Well, this is the last remaining, or one of the last remaining schoolhouses, one-room schoolhouses in Duval County. And it was was primarily dedicated to the education of African American children after the Civil War. In 1866, the priest of the St. Joseph Diocese went back to his hometown in France and implored the convent there, the nuns, asking them to send somebody back here to help educate the children of the freed slaves who had not been educated. And as a result, 60 nuns volunteered. 8 of them were chosen and started in St. Augustine in 1866. In 1868, they came to the St. Joseph Rectory and started a school here in the area. That lasted just a few months, and illness drove them back to St. Augustine. 5 years later, they came back and established the school at the St. Joseph complex on the corner of Loretto and Old St. Augustine Road, and went on till about 1916, when the Jim Crow laws really took effect, and actually 3 nuns were arrested for teaching African American children.
Wow.
2 of them agreed not to teach anymore. The 3rd one said, "I don't think so." So they released her into the care of the priest until the court proceedings happened. But that was, in effect, the end of that era.
Cool. And then this was the other gentleman over there said this building's been moved 3 or 4 times, and then finally ended up here.
In 2015.
Okay.
And in fact, there is a notebook back there on the school desk and also on our laptop, a PowerPoint that shows them actually moving and restoring this.
All right.
And Sister Julie, who was one of the first teachers, actually the first teacher, is buried in the St. Joseph Cemetery.
Would that have been a milk pail or?
That I couldn't tell.
Just a neat little pail.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm going to continue walking. They told me there's a whole bunch of stuff out here
It's
to go see.
absolutely amazing.
Back in the mid to late 1800s, the St. Johns River was the main form of transportation for this area. Somewhere back here, we will come across the St. Johns River, and there is an old farmhouse and a barn. I mean, a lot of this looks like any other spot that I've walked through here in Florida. The same basic trees and underbrush, little wetlands. Looks like we're coming up on the barn. Can't get in the barn today. Or any of the other outbuildings. Over this way. Ooh. I don't know if this is a cabin. I'll hold off on speculating until I get over here to read it. Lasco Winery. This frontier-style log building once housed a winemaking operation in Mandarin. Built in 1892 by Francis Frank Louis Lasco, an immigrant from Verona, Italy. It was located at the east end of what is now Lasco Road. They had a 7-acre Scuppernong grape vineyard that produced enough grapes to make up to 40 barrels of wine a year. The property was sold in 2007. The family donated this building and equipment to the museum. I remember that. Let's continue on down this way. I was wondering what kind of building this was. They're restrooms. And just in time. I'll be back. There are several picnic pavilions. This one's got several tables. This one over here is kind of a private one. Set off by itself. And then we have this little boardwalk up here. Through the trees you can see the St. Johns River. There's a photographer over here. I don't want to disturb them. In the distance there you can see downtown Jacksonville. That's the Buckman Bridge. I'm going to avoid the path and walk under this gorgeous canopy. Nice little picnic table. So you walk up to this old style farmhouse. See a grove of bamboo growing over here. Many people don't realize that bamboo actually grows all over Florida. It is so invasive. Neat old building in the background. My shoulders are giving out. I'll be back. This looks like it's part of a building. Sure not tall enough to get anything into. The other part of the house. And I would imagine this would be the kitchen off to the back, because they often had their kitchens separate from the house. And then most likely these are servants' quarters. And of course we come up over here to the barn. They have some old milling machines and whatnot over there. (1876) barn. Alright. Well, there you go. I hope y'all found that as interesting as I did. Cool little place. Nice little walk. I am like roasting in this sweatshirt and t-shirt combination. But got the AC kicked back in the truck again. So I'll be good to go. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs down or a thumbs up. Leave me a comment wherever it is y'all leave comments on your internet access device of choice. If you'd like to share me around on your social media, that would be fandoculous. If you want to check out my Facebook, the link will be in the description box wherever that is on your device. I also have, well, other out and about videos will be, links to other out and about videos will also be in that description box. Maybe a brief history of what I learned here, if I can remember. People are just so full of information, and it just keeps coming out, and you can tell they really enjoy what they're doing. So keep those in mind that have suffered such devastating loss from Mother Nature over the past few years. You never know when the last time you're going to see someone is. So don't let a day go by, or don't ever say goodbye. Just say I love you. Life's too short. If your loved ones are nearby, give them a kiss and a hug. If they're not, give them a call. Hit them up on Facebook. Let them know you're thinking about them. I know there's people out there that have no idea where their relatives and loved ones are. I'm sorry, but see what you can do. Yeah, until I see y'all again, hope you have a fandoculous day. Sláinte y'all.